There's one thing that everyone cares about when it comes to a Spider-Man game that if it doesn't get it right, it just doesn't matter anymore. That is the web swinging. 9 times out of 10, if you're playing a Spider-Man game, you will hear someone talk about the web swinging. Second most is the combat, and third most is the suits, in my opinion. But the web swinging, it's super important to what makes Spider-Man feel like Spider-Man. I mean, he wouldn't be much of a web slinger if he couldn't sling his web now, would he? Poor Mary Jane. But that's got me thinking about a game that isn't a Spider-Man game, yet has some of the best web swinging we've had across a bunch of different Spider-Man games. That's Fortnite. But before we get to some web swinging action, I want to get into how many of you are subscribed. I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but I have to. The big YouTube make me. Here's the graph. I know, it sucks, but I have to do it every single time because YouTube has a really high drop-off rate because a lot of your attention spans are fried. So please, if you would consider subscribing, liking, giving a notification bell on, all that fun stuff, it would be wonderful for me. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so let's get into the web swinging video. Now, I'm well versed in Fortnite and things coming to Fortnite. I've done a lot of videos on it. So I thought, why not look at something that's already within the game, and something I like. Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this image. Currently, there are 3 types of web shooters in Fortnite. Not currently available in the game, just currently existing. Those 3 are the original Spider-Man web shooters from Chapter 3 Season 1, the Miles Morales, aka Spider-Verse, Chapter 4 Season 2 web shooters, and finally, and last but not least, the current season's Spider-Man web shooters from Season 1. Editor's note. I meant Chapter 3 Season 1, I'm sorry! But they're unlimited this time, so they don't have a web count. So I wanted to break down these web shooters, sort of get a good look into them and see why they are so good, and sort of compare them to other web swinging in other Spider-Man games. So let's start off with what makes these web shooters so damn good. Well, I think the first thing we can look at is the animations. The animations for the web swinging are... they're tight, they're really good. And that's one key thing that needs to be nailed down when you're doing web swinging for any type of Spider-Man game. So how did Fortnite do? Well, as I said, really good. It looks phenomenal. The swing is smooth, the arc is clean, and the body reacts really well to coming down and coming back up from a swing, almost like it does in Spider-Man 2, the PS2 game. But along with that, you have some really fancy let-go animations. There are some, obviously, that are just the basic jump into the air, but there are some that are even cooler, like this little one that he does where he waves at the camera. Ooh, that makes me excited. There's also a really cool one when you web onto the back of a car where you'll ski behind it. Now, this, in particular, is really cool, because it's something we see a lot in the Insomniac games during chase missions, but nothing we've actually had control over before, so having control over it here is really cool, and the animation does fit well. Now, when you come towards the ground with the web shooters, you have an option to either slide on your thigh or have his hand touch the floor. That all depends on how close to the floor you actually are and what loop of animation will play. Because these are all randomized like in Spider-Man 2, which is really cool and makes the game feel very fluid and very fresh, not exactly having the same 3 canned animations. Don't get me wrong, there's not a wealth of animations like there is in Marvel's Insomniac Spider-Man 2, but there's a lot. There's a good number here. There's at least 5. I think that's one thing that really helps, because, you know, when you have web swinging in a game and the animations aren't quite there, it does feel very prominent. I mean, look at the classic Spider-Man games, Spider-Man 2000 and Spider-Man 2002, the movie tie-in game. The web swinging in there feels very stiff, and that's because the animation just isn't as responsive, it's very canned. And Fortnite knocks that out of the park with all of its moves containing so much exaggerated swagger, it's enough to make an IGN reviewer blush.
Didn't know you had any style.
Now, the second thing that makes this web swinging feel so damn good is the controls of it. You almost have complete control over your web line while swinging it out, sort of like in Web of Shadows. The animations really do help here, but your web length is determined by how close and how far you get from something. So if you're really close and you're zipping onto it from quite a close point, you'll have a really short web line that gives you a really tight turning angle. If you're quite far away, that turning angle is going to be much heavier because you are much further away. Sort of how it works in real life. It's a bit of physics for you. But it's really good, and it really helps to make this swinging feel phenomenal. As well as that, you are always attracted to the point that you are locked onto. It's not just an anchorage point. You are constantly slowly being grappled into it. Your character is helped up, so your character weight isn't really an issue. That grapple helps to pull you towards the center point that you've webbed onto. which in a lot of Spider-Man games typically tends to happen, so that you don't just randomly lose momentum mid-swing. But it does feel really, really good. Now, you can lose momentum on a swing, however, that just relates into the web line detaching rather than anything serious happening like in Web Shows, where you just kind of dangle there. All of these points make it so good to web swinging the game. That subtle attraction towards where you're going to, and the very cool part of when you let go of webline, you jump off of it, so it gives you a bit of an air boost, so you can get a good bit of air time if you're coming off of a web swing. That really helps as well. So that sort of grapple mechanic with that jump boost is really what makes it perfect. That combined with its animations, beautiful. Now, the last thing that I think really sells the web swinging in Fortnite is choice of web placement. You always get to see where your line is going to go. You are the one aiming it. That allows, with all of the previous stuff mentioned, to feel like you are the most free when swinging in Fortnite. Choosing your point, where you're going to swing from, how close you're going to get, how far you're going to be, how much distance you're looking to track from your web swing feels so good in Fortnite, especially on a city map. I wish Fortnite would make these a permanent item so we could swing around city maps with these, because it would be phenomenal. This type of web swinging is something that I have kind of wanted to see a bit of control of from other games, but it is a little bit harder to do than it seems. Obviously, in this, it's being treated more like a gun, and you do have to sacrifice some cooler stuff, like the free-flowing webs from Web of Shadows, like the really cool canned animations from Spider-Man 2. If you want to have this much freedom, you do have to focus more on the swinging as a mechanic. While I would like to see this as a mode in some later Spider-Man games, I think Fortnite is the best place for this. It allows the web swinging to become entirely your own choice. Your accuracy, how you swing, becomes personalized to you. Throughout the canned animations and throughout the mechanics, you are styling your own type of swinging. Are you a short swinger? Do you like to get really fast on smaller web lines? Are you a long swinger? Do you like long, breadthful swings? What kind of swinging do you like to do? And that's what Fortnite asks you and grants you the power to see, which I think really makes this web swinging. Let me know what you guys think down below on Fortnite's web swinging, because personally, I think it's some of the best out there in the game. Just above the Neversoft and the Treyarch Spider-Man 1 games, but definitely below the Insomniac games. For anyone wondering what the full in-between is, I'd love to do a video on web swinging in all the Spider-Man games, because I have almost played all of them. So let me know down below if you want to see that. But the last thing is, I want to compare it to some swinging directly from other games. The main one I'm going to compare it to is the Insomniac games, the Neversoft Treyarch games, and Avengers. Why Avengers? Because there was discourse when this web swinging initially came to Fortnite that, surprisingly enough, Avengers did worse than Fortnite did. And I don't think that's entirely true. I mean, it is mostly true, but there's a little bit of nuance there that I want to cover. With the swinging in Avengers, yes, it's very stiff, yes, it's very clunky, but you can kind of eke a little bit more out of it by pushing it like you're pushing the PS2 game, by, you know, determining your arc of the swing and letting go at certain points. However, it does still massively suffer from the fact that it is in the Marvel's Avengers video game, which suffers in and of itself of being the Marvel Avengers video game. So Fortnite definitely knocks this one out of the park. Now, comparing it to the really early examples of swinging, in Neversoft you sort of have a glide. It's not really a swing, you don't have free control. You can shoot out a webline and you'll slowly go down. Basically, the character controller is letting you glide for a certain distance before you drop all the way down. That, unfortunately, isn't exactly linked to how the actual web swing looks. It is just like you're given a basic glider and you will glide down. With the Treyarch 2002 game, though, you actually do have freedom on how high and how low you're going, and kind of to a degree how long your webline is. It just depends on how high or how low on the skybox you are. So it's entirely vertical, and it doesn't really cover any other axes. But it's still pretty good. It's definitely below this. It's definitely below Fortnite's. Fortnite's really good. Last but not least, I want to cover the swinging in the Insomniac games, because the Insomniac games have some really good swinging. You might be thinking, why not Web of Shadows? Why not Shattered Dimensions? I haven't played enough of Web of Shadows to be able to determine how good its swinging is. I haven't been able to get skilled enough in it. And for Shattered Dimensions, I didn't really swing much in that game. I just kind of used the zip and then focused all on combat. So I haven't really toyed around with it enough. But I have a lot of time in these Insomniac games. Yeah, too right. I got 333 in Spider-Man 2. I got 264 in Spider-Man Remastered. And I got 139 in Miles Morales. I fucking love these games, let me tell you a whole lot. So, swinging in these games is different to Fortnite, not only because you don't choose your point, but because it's entirely animation-based. The swing is still taken into account with how technical you can be with it, but especially in Spider-Man 1, it's mostly relying on you looking at the fancy animations and doing the tricks in between. If you don't do that, it tends to feel quite stiff, which is something they rectified in Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 by allowing the animations during a swing to be a bit more expressive. This, combined with the newer modes of transportation in the later two games, allows you to really chain together some good moves to make the swinging feel as good as possible. Something that Fortnite apes, but with that freedom of movement in Fortnite, I do think it feels just a little bit better than the first Insomniac game. So yeah, there you have it. There's my thoughts on the swinging and how it compares to other games. I think it's really good. Let me know how you guys think it compares to the other games down below. Also, if you've gotten this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Turn on notifications so you can see my videos when they come out live. I'm really close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys could get on that and get me to 2,000, I would be such a happy little boy. Finally, I don't know what I'm going to cover just next, but it looks like I might be doing the Venom game. However, if you're coming from my previous videos and you have an idea that you want me to cover, let me know down below. I always look through all of the comments. I will react and comment to your comments as well if I see them. Use code SITE to Astonish in the Fortnite Creator Item Shop. That's all the YouTuber stuff done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye. Hi, welcome to the end card. Again, I want to thank people for getting me so far in such a short amount of time. If you would be willing to leave me a subscribe, I'd be so happy. But also, yeah, please do let me know what you want to see down below. I'm not desperate for ideas, but I want to hear what people want to see, because I do like doing Fortnite content, but I'm also trying to verge into some Spider-Man content, as it is my true passion. So let me know what you want to see down below. Bye-bye.